Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 4, Yoga Wisdom, and verse number is 28. Profound insight is being given how to render your karmic process in such a way that instead of being bonded with karma, you attain liberation, moksha. How to deal with karma so that karma becomes akarma. Karma is completely negated. That's the vital aspect of every religion, if you practice religion in a profound way. Because karma movement means you are constantly changing. If you are dependent on karma, what does karma do? It goes on creating new situations. You lived yesterday, you are living today, tomorrow. If you are bonded with karma, this today, tomorrow will not never end. Because karma is continue to give you new days, new situations, new conditions. And in that, this is called kritrim. This is an artificial movement. It is not your real. It's just like to understand in a simple way, the sun is beyond all karmas. But countless reflected suns, each reflected sun is gripped by karma. And if each individual soul is gripped by ignorance, and therefore the soul led by ignorance is looking for perfection and perfect happiness in a world of time and space. But that's a big error. Just like if you are in dream things were good, but suddenly you realize your dream is terrible. You want to get out of it. No, that statement itself is allegorical. You want to end your dream problem. So within your dream, you create another dream in your mind. If you are in a desert, now you are dreaming, let me be in a beautiful garden. And dream can give you also, if you are just a crow in your dream, you want to be a swan. In brief, you want to resolve your problem in a dream. That itself is a childish type of understanding. Because the dream is not a reality. Absolute perfection is not in the world of time and space. No matter whatever is your experience, try to understand how brittle it is. All your experience is based upon this 5 feet, 6 feet body, bones, and if you don't understand better, go to the doctor. See yourself through X-rays. A wonderful look. Explore the role of your brain, how little brain is giving you all your experiences I am the body, the way I look, these are my friends, this is the big world. All that is coming from little brain centers. This is a technology, divine technology. This is a website. The very word website came from the Vedas. Udanavi. Just like a spider creates the web from the Maya, through Maya, Brahman has created this entire web of the world process. But all this is not a real creation. The sun creates so many illumination that verbosity is from human point of view. Sun itself has done nothing. As long as you are looking at the world through your conditioned mind, that world is not real. But in order to lead yourself to be free from illusion, different messages and different instructions are necessary. And that's the purpose behind all these scriptures. Coming back to the topic now, the topic is in order to free yourself of karma, bring vikarma along with your karma. Vikarma is a special attitude, a special insight. And that vikarma, most important aspect of the vikarma is termed as yajna. Perform your actions with this, blended with the spirit of yajna. Yajna literally means sacrifice. Too literal means find a wonderful goat or some other creature and sacrifice it. And people continue doing that. But all that is extremely childish, kindergarten. Sacrifice is allowing the negative energy to be sacrificed to become positive. All the negative in your personality is short-circuited energy. They are not real. Just like in your own house, when electricity becomes short-circuited, same electricity that you have worked so hard to get and you are paying bills, same electrical energy, instead of cooking your food, is ready to cook you up. Now therefore, adopt the subtle process of sacrificing that energy. Sacrificing means allowing that energy to be corrected, to be sublimated. Sacrifice your anger. And what will happen? Love will emerge out of it. All negative. Sacrifice your pride. Sacrifice your egoism. Sacrifice your sadness. Sacrifice all things that are keeping you limited. And go on emerging out of illusion to discover I am that. I am that am I. The real I am is just absolute self. Let me reiterate one verse of the Gita, it's the 28th. Dravya yajna tapo yajna yoga yajna tatha pare swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yataya sanshita brata. These are different types of yajna. Yajna I have already explained, it is sacrifice. A sacrifice, not cutting down anything, sublimating. Some practice sacrifice relating to material objects, called dravya yajna. In other words, money you have, resources you have, share it, allow it to help reduce the sufferings of others led by good-heartedness. So all your material resources now is leading you to develop good-heartedness. And if you do that, you are not going to becoming materially poor. Rather, you become, Lakshmi Devi smiles. It becomes a secret of real prosperity, healthy prosperity in society. If that can be well understood, a tremendous burden will lift from human beings. To enjoy being rich, so that you can help countless people. And in that comes two stages. First, you feel the joy at the level of your ego. But if you become more virtuous, more sincere, you begin to understand ego is not the basis of your becoming prosperous. God is working through your personality. So at ego level, you begin to develop humility. Charity, practice of charity and generosity has two stages. If it makes a person feel egotistic, oh, how much have I done? Then it becomes demoniac, it becomes tamasic. But real healthy types of charity, the moment people recognize and say how good you are, immediately your mind becomes humble. That's a simple test. The moment you find someone appreciating you, you become humble. It becomes instinctive. You are not pretending. If that is so, your virtuous movement is a healthy movement. And go ahead with it. So that's called dravya yajna, sharing your wealth. Next one is called tapo yajna, austerity of body, speech and mind. Manasa, vacha, karmana. Constantly allow your personality to get into integral yoga movement. Integration is an important term to understand. So, goodness, Godward movement should touch three stages of your body. Your physical body must be so well organized. That's why yoga, Kundalini yoga, Raj yoga, various yogas give you so many techniques to practice relaxation. And also in Hindu culture, You are constantly reminded by various ritualistic tradition to give you simple way to say, Deho Devalayo Prokto, Jivo Deva Sadashiva. The body is your temple. Jiva is Sadashiva. Tyajet Ajnana Nirmalyam. This body is like a flower. Once you move towards enlightenment, you go on, old flower is thrown away. Nirmalya term is putting away the old ones to let the new come in. The body idea, I am the body, fades away. What happens? Soham bhavena pujita. I am that. All this wonderful thing will happen through your body. And if you are very sensitive, understand there is nothing in the world that can compare with your body. You hear about the glory of temples, etc. You go to the temple, of course, I'm not underestimating, all that is wonderful. But what you are missing, temple of all temples. You go to a temple, temple doesn't do any work for you. The real movement comes within your own body, nerves, mind, cells. So, that body has to be viewed in a profound way. And there should be always that type of style in life. Day by day you live attending upon physical health, which means do some yoga exercises, mental health, japa, meditation, and allow an integral plan of yoga to enter in your daily life. Your actions should be in the karma yoga, your feelings bhakti yoga, your thinking, your willing movement Raja yoga, yoga of meditation, thinking jnana yoga. All yogas must enter. That doesn't mean when we are saying it, we are saying so many things. But when it actually happens, it is sahaj, spontaneous. Ask the trees. So many things happen in the tree. Next yoga is called Yoga Yajna. Next yajna. That means, in this context, Yoga Yajna means maintaining equanimity of mind. Of all things that are around you, one thing you should not forget. The most vital attainment is serenity in your mind. Shama. And go on developing impressions, samskaras in your unconscious based on serenity. What type of joy, what type of energy do you experience when the mind is serene? That happens automatically when you are doing puja, worship, meditation. Mind comes to a state of serenity. In that state, unconscious picks up those impressions. And so even when you are not doing puja and wandering in so many things, those impressions are looking like foxes to attack you. I'm joking. Your conscious mind is outfoxed by your subconscious in a positive way. Another yajna is called Swadhyaya yajna. All these yajnas are related, but when I'm describing different angles. Swadhyaya includes japa, repetition of mantra, and study of scriptures. And it also includes bhajans, kirtans, all under the term Swadhyaya yajna. And the climax of all these yajnas called Jnana yajna. Jnana yajna is two-aspected. Inwardly ascend the steps of wisdom. Inwardly become enriched in such a way that you are moving away from mala, gross impurities, moving away with kshepa, that keeps the mind distracted, and an intuitive revelation. All this does not happen at once, but whatever step you take, to whatever degree, two things happen. When you begin to evolve on the spiritual path, many around you begin to be lifted up. If a wave tries to be higher, without thinking of the mama waves, papa waves, it will automatically happen. As the wave rises higher, all the waves also go along with it. Put it now in a more practical way. Always develop a good-hearted spirit within yourself to share whatever has helped you physically, mentally, psychologically. You might have worked hard to get the insight. It might have taken 6 years of experiment. But in sharing, you don't wait. Give to the people. You don't say that, look, wait, it took 6 years for me. I will tell you after 30 days. No. Human heart has been fashioned in such a way that people share. If you share goodness of your heart, and of course the highest goodness is sharing knowledge. Should you understand you are not the body, you are the soul, you relate to God. What's your goal of life? But whatever step you take in a positive way, if you share, your knowledge grows more and more. Not only on the path of yoga, but even in your school studies. If you are expert in mathematics, share that. Start giving, helping others. You'll find your knowledge of mathematics will grow more. Jnana yajna, therefore, this is one of the best message for all people who become interested in spirituality. Create a satsanga around you. Create a time when you can have a little group of people come together in a happy, joyous mood. If it's not there, doesn't matter. And adopt a topic that has benefited you. Draw from any good source, talks on Gita, talks on Upanishad, any inspiring or your own ideas or whatever, and in such a way that is entertaining to people. Advices are never given directly. There is an art in it. You can call the people most dull wit, not directly, indirectly. Uttishtata jagrata, as if you have been sleeping all the time. Continuing with this topic of yajna, in 29th verse, apane juhuvati pranam prane panam satha pare pranapana gati rudva pranayama parayana. Some offer prana into apana. Others offer apana into prana. While others are engaged in the cessation of prana and apana. All these are allegorical writings. Offering prana here refers to ingoing breaths, as you are breathing in. And in pranayama exercises, there are three terms. Inhale, it is called purak. Exhale, it is called rechak. In between, hold, neither purak nor rechak, still called kumbhak. This whole practice is you are allowing prana to correct prana. Just like in your house, when there is a disintegration of energy, the same electrical company has to come and correct one type of discordant energy is to be sacrificed into the right type of energy. In other words, they work upon various electrical channels. But let's move away from there. Understand now the role of prana in your personality. Prana is life force. And it is related to your mind. If your mind is agitated, pranic currents become in turmoil. They also become agitated. If you calm the mind, your pranas become harmonized. On the other way, if you calm your pranas, allow certain exercises, relax, do yoga nidra, your mind becomes calm. When we talk of prana, people immediately begin to put their finger at the nose and the breath. Breath is an effect of prana, not in itself prana. By manipulating, bringing the breath into a rhythmic process, you are allowing the prana to become harmonized deep down, impacting upon harmonizing the mind. So, benefit of pranayama is not how long you can hold your breath, but how easily can you allow your breathing to become calm. But in disciplinary stage, all types of disciplines are allowed. In the beginning, you practice to hold your breath according to your capacity. Only thing, don't become deluded that if I were to hold the breath for 15 minutes, I will get quick enlightenment. Because you are not dealing with the gross air. So, breath is not the goal. Breath is the means, how you manipulate your breath. Manipulating the breath, that's called, you are offering prana into prana, or prana into apana, and apana into prana. And of course, in the yogic tradition, there are so many disciplines, Kundalini yoga, many yogas, they always focus on various functions of prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. All that automatically happens, but you can also become interested depending upon your choice. While others are engaged in the cessation of prana and apana. Cessation of prana and apana implying where breath becomes so calm that as if you are not breathing, in deep samadhi. As the mind becomes deeply involved with a sense of expansion, breathing calms down. That's just a simple symptom of deeper movement. But calming down the breath should not become your target. Otherwise you may decide to block up the nose by putting a clip on it. In a normal way, when you turn your attention to your breathing, you are not breathing through both the nostrils. Only one nostril will be operating at a time. When left nostril operates, it's called ida is operating. It is cooling. It gives passivity to your body, which is needed. When right nostril flows, it's called fire. It's allowing energy to become active, dynamic. So generally, they have all evolved in the Hindu culture. When you eat food, after food, food to be assimilated, allow the right nostril to flow. If you want to relax, then let the left nostril flow. If you are in turmoil in your mind, work upon your nose. See which nostril is flowing. Change it. But how do you change it? You tell it, it can't happen. If you stay on your chair or wherever you are, on your left side, put pressure to your left, the right nostril will flow automatically. Put pressure to your right side, left nostril will flow. Put no pressure, just relax. Then Sushumna will flow. Sushumna is this where both nostrils flow and breath becomes very calm. That's the indication that your pranas are being very harmonized. All that science goes into this study. Just to give you one statement, your breath relates to prana, and prana I have described how it is operating within. Prana relates to mind. Mind relates to the soul, and soul is nothing but Brahma. All that starts just with your nose. अपरेण्यताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः. Some having regulated their food offer their pranas into the pranas. Here, in this context, offering prana into pranas, the context is here prana relates to indriyas, jnanendriyas. You offer the senses into senses. How can that be done? You come to realize that sugar is bad for you. And the tongue has suddenly caught a sugary chocolate. Now yajna means take that chocolate out. And put a nibblet. Put something that neutralizes, that helps you to control the diabetic situation. So what you did, one type of sense, you sacrificed it for another type of sense. Senses sacrificed into senses. Mind sacrificed into mind. Intellect sacrificed into intellect. But to understand now, one type of thinking, if it is wrong, you begin to understand, then allow that to be dominated by advanced type of thought. Another word has been used, niyata ahara. Ahar is food. Niyata means controlling the food. Again, food. Fasting, one way of controlling. Taking to healthy foods. And you can go in extreme. You go after fasting, for focusing on continuous fasting, or you can go into extreme of having sattvic food in the morning, 4 or 6 times during the day. Extremes are never good. Mitahar, a good style of ahar, food, but it should be always in a moderate quantity. They describe it in a mathematical way. If suppose your stomach has room for 4 degrees, 4 points, take your food 50%. 1/4 space for water. The last 1/4, forget about it. It's called mitahar. And of course, this ahar aspect plays a tremendous role in human life. All Ayurveda constantly focuses on what type of food is agreeable to you. And you have to also understand there is another level of ahar. Ahar, food for thought, food for your feelings, food for your understanding. And on that basis, there is a statement, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. If all intakes are ahar, food, what you hear is food for your ears. What you see is food for your eyes. If all these foods, intakes, shuddhau, if they are sattvic, then your whole mental process becomes purified, sattva shuddhi. Sattva shuddhau dhruva smriti. When mind becomes highly purified, there is a revelation, you are not the body, you never has been the body. So don't stay body with the body. Keep the body healthy, but don't stay constantly with that feeling of that I am the body. Remember, your memory has now come to different levels. Coming into this body, you have gone through millions of bodies. Being this soul, essential soul within, you are in all the bodies, whether you like it or not. A reflected sun in a jar, try to understand, being the sun. That sun is in all the different vessels. This type of recollection, not recollecting how things happen in your childhood. Someone slapped you such a way. Can't forget about it. I'm joking. But that's normal for human life. But when you study scriptures, you don't have to stay normal. It becomes super normal. So, that type of mystic recollection, who am I? I am soul, not the body. And not only just soul, among souls I am the self, absolute one that appears as countless souls. Not only that, I am behind all the universe, all matter. Matter doesn't matter. Mind never mind. Negate the mind and matter. That's what I am. So that all this started from the ahar, food. So, ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhi. Sattva shuddhau dhruva smriti. This is called dhruva smriti, the type of memory that's a perfect revelation of what you are, eternity. It is not a shaky type of memory. Dhruva smritau sarva granthi nam vipramoksha. When you have that dhruva smriti, that type of revelation, recollection, then all forms of bondage, karma, action, desire-based bondage, ignorance, all are removed. Sarve piyete yajna vido yajna kshapit kalmasha. All these yogis who practice this, what I have talked, the yajnas, they are the knowers of sacrifice and have burnt up their sins in the fire of sacrifice. Figurative expression that yajna, where each time you think of yajna, you see how the fire comes out of the yajna altar. Similarly, a mystic fire of knowledge develops within that goes on burning malas, gross impurities, sublimating your vikshepa, your distracted concepts that keep your mind filled with desires in all directions, and goes on removing ignorance. And all this leads one to attain enlightenment, liberation. And I have to hold off at this stage. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramayana, Shri Krishnaya, Hari Om.